You want to know what's obvious proof that we are living in a simulation, bro? We set our clocks ahead an hour, and then we set them back an hour. Time isn't real. Where the fuck that come from? They made it. They made it so it can do that. I don't know what they do, but there is no reason why we should be doing that.
Normally, there are three lines in the hands. If you look at your hand and under mine, if you look under my fingers, that's the heart line. That deals with the mental affections of the person. Okay. And normally it starts with it normally see there's a place where it starts and there's a place where it ends. Now, the one line that most people start with, and I'll use my hand as an example, is around here, going around the ball of the thumb, is called the lifeline. That denotes the vitality of the person or how well they've kept their digestive tract in shape. All right. And normally it will go all the way around and off sometimes to the curve. Okay. So, for example, um, then, so that's the vitality. That line in the center, that's the headline. That to me is the most important line to look for. So I don't care how attractive you look. If you, that's why Napoleon says the face may deceive, but the hand never, because if that line is anywhere out of its normal track, under, it tells me that the person in front of me is not normal mentally. That's why they call it the headline, the one in the center. So there are two ways where it goes. Each of the lines have a place where they start, and each of the lines have a place where they end. And that's the most important thing. Anything other than that, I don't get accusatory, but I'll just say that's not normal. Then I leave well enough alone while I'm ahead. You see what I'm saying? So there's all kind of ways you do this. So the headline represents the mentality of the person in front of you. Okay. If it's going slightly straight, it means a head for business. If it's curving downward, it means a love toward the art. So you have a person's where both the headline and the heart line starts off as one. Okay. And then as the person grows, then they begin to shape their own individuality. Your headline is separate, widely separate from your lifeline. So it tells me you came out the gate of life already with a mind of your own. That's what that tells me. Yeah, mom, dad, I love you, but I got this. That's what that says, okay? And so sometimes it's when lines are widely separated like that, it means you're independent, always have your own mind, your own way of thinking, and things of that nature. But if your headline, the rule of thumb, it should be slightly spaced. See, if you look at mine, I got a slight space. You got a wide space. So I know trying to tell you something to do, there has been some resistance. If you have long fingers, that means you're talking to a person that has a higher mentality. If you're talking to a person with short fingers, you can just get right to the point. Well, what do you mean? But so these things help in an interview. So if I'm in an interview with a a person with long fingers, that simply means that I'm going to have to go into details. I can't say, well, you know what I mean. No, I don't know what you mean. Okay. Then these are bulges around the between the phalanges. These are the phalanges. See, like here, this is 1, 2, 3. These are phalanges. And what happens is in palmistry, they call these things in between the phalanges knots. Well, women don't like that word knot. So I just say they're bulges. And what happens is if the fingers are very smooth, it means the person thinks impulsively. They act before they think. But when a person has these slight bulges, I like that because it means they may want to act, but they're going to think first. So, but the more bulges or knots that you have, the more it tells me about that person is going to think twice before they make a decision.
So it's called neurochemistry. Basically, when we think a thought, All right, that thought affects the neurochemistry of our brain. The neurochemistry, go Google the word, right? But neurochemistry is basically the study of the nervous system, or the way the nervous system works in your body. So basically, when we think a thought, our nervous system is immediately impacted by it, and it fires off thoughts throughout the body, and it lets out a secretion that it sends to the skin, or the epidermis, the first layer of the skin, which is this carbon. All right, and this carbon then emits frequencies out into the universe around us, and everything vibrates on our planet. I will be breaking all this down in later videos. Just bear with me, okay, on this law of attraction thing. So basically, this is what happens. So basically, all right, when you think something, all these triggers that take place from the brain down, sending things down to the skin. The skin is basically an antenna, and it emits frequencies to attract likewise frequencies. But it's even deeper than that. What actually happens is that as we think these thoughts, all these secretions is being released from our brain, and the neurochemistry of our brain is changing based upon the thought that we are thinking or holding.
You're not supposed to be buried 6 feet deep. You never lived in London. You never was a part of the bubonic plague. So why are you still following the laws that they passed amongst themselves as Europeans in order to try to combat the bubonic plague? So everybody in America, if you got blew the fuck up in Iraq and you come back over here and you buried 6 feet deep, what the fuck is you doing still following the laws that's been passed down from the bubonic plague? You're supposed to be cremated. You know why you get cremated? So that they put your ashes in a canopic jar. But today we don't use canopic jars. We use what is called urns. And a piece of your spiritual essence will always be with your family. Period. So with that being said, family, graveyards. Even when we're talking about graveyards, right? Graveyards is like prisons for the dead. So think about how many people died but can't transfer on because they still attached to their body that's buried in the motherfucking dirt. Because you didn't do a simple ass task as to cremate the goddamn body. So you got niggas in prison, right? Locked the fuck up, can't do what they want to do. And then they die and they go to an energetic prison called a graveyard. So that being said, family, understand why certain burial practices and certain sacred practices are done. Nobody does. Our ancestors, our African ancestors' intelligence was too exceeding for you to think they just did shit because it was cute. Everything was done intricately and precisely calculated by the mind and intelligence of their physical and metaphysical knowledge upon themselves in regards to their natural interfacing with the universe. So with that being said, family, break away from the slave mentality and stop letting the motherfucker not only disrespect you while you alive, but motherfuckers disrespecting you while you dead. You're not even getting buried right. Your body's not even getting taken care of right. And not only are you being disrespected, our ancestors who took the precautions have been and are still today being dug up and disrespected. And all of the effort that they put forth to help us, we've become so non-associated with our genetic lineage with them, we don't even see ourselves as them, so we don't even give a fuck to try to help stop the carnage that's going on to them. So imagine if you just go to motherfucking Washington and start digging up all the motherfuckers that died in 9/11. White people in the government will be all over your ass. But yet they can go to Africa, they can go to North America, South America, China, and dig up all of these motherfucking sacred African burial grounds, which are nothing more than energetic gateways and pillars for our ancestors to communicate and interact with us. And they can totally decimate and desecrate the goddamn sites. And you don't give a fuck because your dumb ass watching Love and Hip Hop. That's all you give a fuck about. So with that being said, family, understand there's an awareness that never goes away. But it never comes to you if you're not aware of it as well. So it's like looking for your cell phone when it's in your pocket. You'll waste your goddamn existence looking for something that you already have. The sacred science of ourselves is already inside of us, but it's for you to unlock it. So with that being said, family, amplify yourself, but more importantly, understand yourself. Because once you understand who you are, you'll understand why it is that you must do what you need to do.
I stopped trusting human beings. Who I really trust is divine in me.
Yeah.
That's impeccable listening. Just Most High, show me. If I'm at the bottom, I know at that moment I said, Most High, you're gonna show me something that I could never see, and I'm waiting. So I have high expectations of the divine, knowing that all of a sudden something clicks and boom, somebody makes a phone call. Whoa, something happens and shifts. And then I see it. It's like you see the unseen. And then you have to have trust to take the journey. Because it's not like it's all set up and perfect, but it is perfectly given to you to help you to overcome. And so that's a dance, that's a prayer, that's a song. It's like use everything you have to do everything you need to do. Is it a song? Is it a prayer? Is it that juice? Is it a sweat? Yesterday was my greatest day of my life, but every day can be.
We are dark matter energy, and you need to understand that scientists call us, and they consider it antimatter. Now, that leads me to say, if they consider it antimatter, what is matter? Matter is everything you see around you and everything you don't see around you. I repeat, matter is everything you see around you and everything you don't see around you. You can put the charger from back there. I think it's right there. Okay. So why is matter everything you see around you and everything you do not see around you? Matter is everything you do not see around you because you have certain phases of matter like plasma energy and the gas phases that you cannot perceive with the retinas. You'll only see these things if you're tapped into the pineal, and only the gods can do that.